the average?
Does anyone know the average? Wasn't too high, but at least above 90, I hope. 96?
Yeah, you played well. What was Joyce?
Wow. Okay.
90. Oh, he upped it then.
96, okay.
96, 75, 44%.
Better than expected. Okay.
Gian, congratulations. Well, just talking off camera there, you didn't think you played that well, but it was a good performance.
No, especially the first set. I've missed so many darts to go 1-0 up in sets, and then the whole match. Even though you shouldn't think about it, it's still in your head. Especially when I made 2-1 to go 2-1 up, I was like, it could have been off stage by now. But it is what it is. Scoring I was pretty well. Some kind of legs, a bit up and down, but in the end, my finishing really won that game.
So, like first ranking tournament since the World Championships, is it feeling different?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel a bit rusty. Even though I played the World Series, of course, it's still, as you said, the first ranking major tournament after the Worlds. It's been a couple of weeks, and in between I've been busy travelling, so I didn't practice too much. So to be here and to play, well, okay, I'm really happy with this win.
You touched on playing in the World Series. Do you feel, obviously, that's the first time Ryan's played a competitive game since the World Championship? Do you think that had a big bearing and it also helped you?
Yeah, for me especially, 100%. If I would have touched my last dart in the PDC tournament like 4 or 5 weeks ago, it would have been totally different today. I feel even more rusty than I did on stage, and I think it helps to get that match practice, even though it's in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia. That match practice really helped for today, and I felt that as well. On stage, I felt not as comfortable as I would have hoped, but at least more comfortable if I didn't play the World Series. So I'm quite happy.
First time playing on the new board, the Winmau Blade X. What was it like?
Yeah, it's a good board. As a player, of course, it's a fantastic board. But in those matches like short format, you don't notice too much difference. But it looks very nice. It looks very class. It looks luxury. Like it screams luxury. So yeah, I'm quite happy. Really happy with this board, of course. Cheers, mate.
Gian, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your first time here at the World Masters on the TV stage. Anyway, does that just show how sort of quick the progression has been over the last 12 months?
Yeah, for sure. It feels weird to say first time here in this tournament, because in this venue I've played like 25 times before in the Pro Tours, Development Tour, Challenge Tour and everything, but it's it shows really how much I've grown in the past 12 months. Last year I was like number 26, 27 in the world, now number 3 and qualified for this tournament. It shows what a great 2025 I had.
How does that familiarity with being here over different tournaments affect you as a player? Because usually when you go to a venue, it's just for one tournament a year. I guess with Milton Keynes, you're going to be here 5-6 times throughout the year.
Yeah, I don't think it does really matter. Of course, in the station or on the floor, it's really different. The layout of the venue itself is really different. The practice room where we are now is not the same as we do on the floor, so I don't think it matters too much. But of course, the hotel that you're staying in, the way to the practice room, stuff like that. That's quite kind of familiar, but I don't think it matters too much if you play here or in a total new venue.
That experience you had in Bahrain and Saudi, is that now the start, do you think, of, I guess, your new life in darts? There's going to be a lot of travelling, there's going to be a lot of hotels?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't mind travelling, I don't mind staying in hotels. I'm quite good on my own, but to have the invite to the World Series that we've been to in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, it was fantastic to represent your sport over there, to put it on the map there. It's amazing, and hopefully I can continue that for the many more years to come.
Were you there on your own, or did your partner go with you?
No, my girlfriend was there in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, but she's not here. She said I'll need a couple of days off, especially after the World Championship, and then straight on to the World Series. So she's not here this weekend. But my manager's here, so it's all okay.
She needs some days off, but you don't get any.
Maybe I need some days off as well, but the job is calling. No, I don't mind being here. Of course, it's the first major of the year. I'm really looking forward to getting started in the ranking tournaments, and she can have some days off, but I don't. No. Cheers, mate.
Gian, well played today.
Thank you, mate.
Touched on it there, but where is the energy at? It's been quite busy. You're here. There was a media day on Monday. I think we've got an exhibition the day before the World Series. You've not even started the Premier League yet. Are you starting to feel a change from all the travelling, or you still got some energy?
No, I got a lot of energy left. Of course, it's just the start of the year. It's been quite some travelling after the World Series, as you said, exhibition and then media day, but it's part of the job, and I'm really looking forward to the Premier League. Of course, it's going to be a long 16 or hopefully 17 weeks, but I'm ready for it. It's because it's a new experience. Even though you feel a little bit tired, you always get so much energy of being on that stage, being competitive, playing competitive games. So I don't think I'll feel any tiredness this year.
We look at the sport sort of 15, 20 years ago, it was certainly an older person's sport, whereas now if you look at the top of the game, you've got two Luke, you've got yourself, Josh Rock, a lot of other people that are coming. Do you feel like the increased schedule and all of the travel involved has had an impact on why the game seems to be getting so younger now?
Yeah, maybe. Of course, the schedule's packed. You know, it's full calendar this year, but I think that's only a positive sign for the sport that we're playing. You know, I said it as well earlier this week. I'd rather play like 4 or 5 times in a week than wait 3 or 4 weeks for my next tournament. And of course, it's going to benefit the younger players, but I still think, you know, especially last World Championship, even an older guy like Gary Hansen, he still played phenomenal. He played well tonight as well. So I don't think it's just a young sport, a game anymore. But of course, with the schedule that we have now, it's going to benefit the younger players. Yeah.
In the past few years, we've seen more Euro Tours added, more Pro Tours added, and obviously that's because the sport is growing, there's more money in the game. Is there room in the schedule now to add more events as the sport continues to grow?
Yeah, I think so. You know, of course, if you want to play all events, it's very hectic, but I think in the long run, we're going to look to like other sports, like, for example, tennis. We've got 2 or 3 events in a weekend. You can choose wherever you want to play. I think in like 10, 20 years, I think darts is going to go that way as well. You don't have to play all the tournaments. You can choose and pick and choose whatever you want to play. But yeah, hopefully the calendar is going to be even more packed because it means even more tournaments and, of course, prize money for the players as well.
Thank you, Gian Van
Cheers,
Veen.
mate.
Congratulations, Jan.
Thank you.
It was a bit of a big fight for you, the first 2 sets there. Was it the 1-2-1 on the ball that kind of turned the tide for you there?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, I was missing loads of doubles, and then took out that finish. It was like, okay, it got me over some sort of line during the match. Of course, I was scoring well, but finishing wasn't up to my standard I was used to and hoping for. But as you said, I think the 1-2-1 finish really helped me get over that line.
And it's a lot first for you this year, isn't it? So, you know, Bahrain, Saudi, now here, Premier League coming up. Does it kind of feel like, you know, like you were kind of like a new tour card holder, experiencing all these new things?
Yeah, maybe, but it's a tour card holder then with a lot of pressure on him because I feel that, of course, you know, you're here as a 3rd seed, and even though I don't put too much pressure on myself, everyone expects me to win this game, and I expect that from myself as well. I expect myself to hit that in the high 90s, low or even above 100 averages, but yeah, as you said, with all those new experiences, it's going to be so many more new experiences this year. It maybe feels like a new year, new me, but I'm really looking forward to all the new experiences.
And with these smaller fields, 32 here, do you now start to sort of plot your way through the competition and start to look at who you'll be facing in the later rounds?
Not really. I know I've got Nathan Aspinall next, but then afterwards, I don't have a clue who I'm playing afterwards. You know, I'm just going to take it game by game. Of course, it's a smaller playing field, so it's going to be easier on paper just to get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals. But yeah, I'm just going to take it game by game. You can't look too much ahead, especially in this format with all these quality players. So yeah, we'll just see where we can go. Cheers, thank you.
Hi, Jan. Congratulations on tonight.
Cheers, mate.
So you're looking for the rest of the year. Is there any points where you may be taking some breaks, or at the moment, are you looking to play absolutely everything?
No, I'm not going to play everything. You know, especially during the Premier League, you can't play all the player championships. And after the Premier League, there's enough time to play all the Pro Tours. But before then, I'm going to, of course, pick and choose some. I'm going to play in some player championships just to get my match rhythm, some match practice, and of course, I want to be in Minehead at the end of the year. But yeah, no, there's definitely no space to play all of them.
And do you find it, being after such a phenomenal World Championships, do you find it different now being the favourite? You're no longer shocking people or the underdog. You're now expected to be at the latter stage this time.
A little bit. Like, of course, for myself, I don't approach the matches any different than I did last year. But you notice it's going to be some extra pressure. I feel that as well, and it's always going to be the same. But I'm just going to have to get used to it. And you know, if you want to be on the top of the world, everyone expects you to win. So you're just going to have to get used to it. And I'm doing that now, and it's going to probably take a couple of weeks or months. But I'll be sure I'll get used to it. Yeah.
And have you set yourself any personal goals for this season?
Not really. You know, of course, I'm not defending a whole lot of money. So just to get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, and majors, starting with this one would be fantastic for this year. And I know at the end, like Luke Humphries is defending a lot of money. So maybe I'm eyeing up the number 2 spot in the world, but you know, it's going to be tricky because Luke is a fantastic player, so he can win a lot of majors, of course. So, but we'll see. I'm just trying to enjoy all the new experience.